Hello, and welcome back to another episode of CLIPCast.
We have a new addition to the show.
Yes, we do. We have a brand new mug that says the name of the podcast.
Who would have thought?
And it has these crazy lines, and I'm totally gonna spill
These
this
crazy
everywhere.
lines.
It's yellow, and it's very small.
Is it? I don't think it's that small.
Yeah,
How can you
it's a
tell?
normal
It's
size
petite.
mug.
We don't know how big your face is, Constanza, so we can't scale things. You know?
Sure.
So,
We
how are you
have-
guys?
Well, good. How are you?
Again.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm good. Everyone's okay?
Yep.
Yes.
Go
Yeah.
ahead, Constanza. What do you want to
Uh,
say? I'm excited.
We have a bit of a topic for this one, which is if you could, would you travel to the future or the past?
Oh, wow. Crazy.
Crazy.
Okay.
I know.
That's interesting.
That's gonna totally last for 30 minutes.
I know.
That's-
That would be great. What do you mean?
Alright, so let's start with...
I really
Maria.
want your answer first. You have
Why-
to
why-
answer
why-
first, JP.
You literally
Yeah,
just
she
gave me
asked
the
the
question.
question.
You guys have been thinking about this longer. Maria, if you could, would you travel to the future or the past? And why?
I don't know.
You don't
Both
know?
can end up in disaster. Like the future, like okay, maybe it'd be cool to see what would happen, but then like I would know what would happen, you know, and I don't think I want to know. Like, it's...
Yeah, of course you don't.
But if I went to the past, what if I messed something up and then like I would change like the whole timeline?
Well,
Right, but
let's
say-
say,
but say
no,
that
no, no,
doesn't-
no. No.
All right, go ahead.
Where would you want to go in the past, first of all?
Why would I want to go into past?
Where?
Oh, where? Oh, that's actually. Ooh. I think that's a hard question. There's
It is
It
a hard
is.
question.
many timelines. I don't know.
There's like one timeline.
Would you want
Sorry,
to
I meant
go?
so many time periods, like so many interesting time periods.
Yeah.
Well, we all agree that if we went back in time, we would go like way before we were born, though, right?
Yeah, like
Maybe.
I think I would like if I had like more than one shot. Like this is the only chance I can get to go to one time period. Like if I could go to various like in the past, I'd want
Maria
to.
wants just a coupon to travel in time
Yeah.
whenever she feels like it.
Yes,
Time
I would
machine.
go.
Like just
I
a
think
monthly fee.
I'd go like
this many
very
times.
far back, but then I think I'd also want to explore like closer time periods to like me, like you know before I was born, and then maybe even go back if I could still like keep my memories or something, go back to a time when I was younger, like I was already born like myself, you know, and like imagine I could be like my younger self in that thing. I think I would go back just
Would you
to
want to?
experience. Imagine, here's the thing. I would not want to have to imagine I went back to 6th grade or younger.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to have to do all of that again until this point. But if I could go back for like a week
Oh,
and
yeah.
experience my life as a 6th grader like for a week, I totally do it.
So
Oh,
wait. So you're
That'd be
saying
cool.
like time travel and become what you were at that
Yeah.
time?
Well,
I thought you meant like you
No,
were
I-
Like
second.
like a 6th
Yeah.
grader with the knowledge of a 17-year-old.
I didn't even think of it like that.
Yeah,
Well, you
I
can
thought
do
it would
that.
be like a second person.
no,
Yeah,
because
like
I
in
like
movies.
I thought
Exactly.
I thought of like two things when I was saying imagine going back to like 19th century, for example, like late 19th century. I would want to be like I wouldn't exist, so I would obviously like be there like as me now, a separate person. But if I went back to imagine 2015, I want to be myself from then.
Ooh, I wouldn't want that at all.
I'd probably prefer being an outside person, and I'd go
Same.
like I'd go like bully myself or ask myself something.
I wouldn't
Maybe
talk to
you couldn't
myself.
talk to yourself.
Yeah.
You'd ruin the whole time.
You'd ruin the
Yeah,
whole
it's
thing.
fine. No, it wouldn't because that already
And
happened.
he's like, yeah, I'll ruin the world. What do
I
you
think
mean?
I just like
If you
weirdly
go-
stalk myself, you know, like see what I would do and
God.
see like myself going through my day. Because
You'd
I
be
can't
like,
just
wow.
be like, "Hi, I'm you in the future. What's up?"
Yeah, of
I
course you
think-
can.
You move schools, by the way. Shocking.
Think
No, I
like,
think I would only like look for myself if I went to the future.
Oh.
But like future, like
Thing is, okay,
a
let
few
me.
years.
The things with this is, if you went back in time to talk to yourself, you would already know when this happened because it already happened for you.
I know it's a
And if you went forwards, the person that you will talk to already knows you're going to talk to them, and he already knows everything you're going to say
it's
because
very
you did
weird.
it.
Time travel
Yeah.
is very weird.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's very-
whatever you do in the past or the future has already happened for the future past you.
But I feel like if I went to the past, I I would go to the past to the point of like early 19th century or something. Like
19th?
very,
Yeah, but
very.
I find late
distant
19th
time.
century cool.
I don't know history, but sure.
Okay, so Maria, you'd like to go to Victorian England? Do you think that would be cool?
I think so. But like I said before, it's really hard to choose, you know.
Yeah, no, there's like a lot of time
Yeah.
that you can go
A
to.
whole lot of time.
And
But,
each
like,
time period has so many interesting things. Like
Yeah,
and so
and-
many different like spectrums.
True. And Constance, you were saying like if you went to the future, you'd only like to go look for yourself if you went to the future, right?
Yeah.
But like I was so reluctant like about like the thing of going to the future because it's like when someone asks you, "Would you like to know when you're going to
No,
die?"
I
you know,
know,
or
yeah.
something. It's
Yeah.
like I don't want to. I would not
But
want
that's
to
the
know anything
thing.
about that. And if you go to the future, you see yourself, and you know. And but yeah, like I don't think I would want to know like where I am in the future. Just like I like to see the future, you know, but maybe only when I get there.
And maybe like if you went to the future and saw yourself, you might like take a different path, like knowing what happened in the future, or might like
So-
put a pressure on yourself to actually be able to do that.
Only
or-
if I maybe went to like 3,000 and something, because I sure won't
Yeah,
be
I was
alive
gonna say,
then.
would you like to see the future and like after you'd be dead?
The thing is, like, what if you just saw that humanity was gone, or
Yeah.
or
yeah,
like
that'd be
or
so
like
scary.
humanity would be so different? I don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be crazy.
Yeah, and then you'd go back and you know the like impending doom.
Yeah,
It's,
that would
like,
be horrible.
coming. That'd
Then
be
you talk
horrible.
about it and people are like, great, they're
I don't-
insane.
I don't
yeah,
think
like
I
conspiracy
really don't
theory.
think I'd like to go to the future at all. I'd probably just go to the past as well.
The past. Yeah, I agree.
I guess the past, something that would be really interesting would be like caveman times. I don't know. I just thought that would be so funny. Like,
Yeah.
but also I'd probably get killed. But that would still be pretty funny.
yeah.
Yeah,
seeing the
like imagine
caveman.
seeing dinosaurs.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's
You
way
could
before.
you could find out if dinosaurs like looked like how people theorize they look like.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool.
You
That'd be
go
really
back.
The thing, the thing is, like, even if you imagine if you found out they didn't, you can come to the future like you're all wrong. I saw the truth. They'd be like, you're crazy.
I know, but also
Yeah.
everybody would think you're crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You'd know them. You
Yeah.
just make sketches of them and you just
Yeah.
show them to your kids like this is what they actually look like.
Exactly.
Yeah, forget all those textbooks you read. This is
No.
what this is what
That's
happens.
true.
About dinosaurs.
Do you know what would be cool going to the past and meeting your parents when they were your age?
Oh.
But
Oh.
then you could have like a Marty McFly situation where like you change something and then you
Oh,
stop
no, yeah.
existing.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That would be very bad.
Imagine you just met them as like a stranger in the street or something. So
I feel like you'd
you
recognize
probably
them.
wouldn't affect like their timeline. And then you just grew up and they'd be like, you really look like
So
that
familiar.
person.
No, they
so
wouldn't remember.
familiar.
They wouldn't remember.
Yeah, it was just
Maybe.
like a small encounter, like I don't know, in a coffee shop.
Okay,
like,
imagine
having
like
a coffee or...
not like a
that.
stranger enough for them to forget instantaneously, but like not a big
become a
enough
coworker or
impact to
something.
like not like someone like too
Like, talk to
important
them.
to like impact. Like yeah, not someone
Yeah.
like so important that they would like maybe change their like timeline. Just like so
And
they'd be
change
like,
your name so that
your
they don't
face
know.
is very familiar. Yeah.
You know what I'd like to do, because I don't know anything about like my great grandfather, great grandfather, and the great like
Yeah.
I don't know where my family comes from.
Mhm.
So what I'd probably do is like track through my family. So I mean, obviously
that'd
this
be
is
really
like a big tree and lots of branches and stuff. So you just probably go down one branch and follow like my dad's grandfather and then my grandfather's grandfather, or the other way around. That would be really cool.
That's cool.
And you'd
Yeah.
want to meet them?
You're
Or just
yeah,
know like what they were like.
you can meet them. Like
Like stalk them
Yeah.
or meet
I'm
them.
your great grandson.
Yeah,
They're like,
hi.
cool.
Yeah.
What is that thing you're holding? Oh, it's a phone.
It's it's this magic box with lights and it does that.
And then they burn you on a stake.
I think that's okay as long as you like didn't have that, like, there's a theory that there are big events that will like impact the timeline and the small ones. As long as you do like, you can do a lot, but like very small things. Like I think it would work. You can meet like your whole family tree.
Yeah.
I mean,
like
maybe.
the whole butterfly effect thing. The
Yeah.
thing with like going back and changing the past is like, if you're changing the past, then it already happened in your past. Like you already
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So it doesn't
Mhm.
matter what you go do. Things will still be the way
Yeah.
they are in your memory. which means that whatever you go do has already been decided. It's very confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because things will
Very
change,
weird.
but you won't know that they will change.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird to think about.
And the thing is, if you go back and you stop yourself from being born, that would make a paradox, because if you were never born, you'd never go back
You
to
could
stop
never
yourself
do
from
that,
being born.
yeah.
So
Mhm.
I don't think that would ever happen. It would always go back to you being born and everything being the same way it was.
Also, how do you think people would deal with if somebody was like, "Oh, this changed in this timeline for some reason"? They're like, "There's time travelers." How do you think people would deal with that? Do you think they'd just be like, "Right, you're crazy"?
I don't
Well-
think people would know that something changed.
Yeah, because it's
it would
all
always
they would
be
ever
that way.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it's always been, because it was in the past.
You'd be the only one like who would know that something was different.
Exactly.
And you'd have to live with it,
Oh, this is weird.
right?
It is.
Most people would say stuff like go back and stop certain catastrophes or certain
Mhm.
horrible events. But would you?
I
Because,
don't know
like,
how that would change.
yeah, that would change things so much, and it probably wouldn't.
Like
It
when you
wouldn't be.
s-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Catastrophes will always
when you
happen.
said that, my mind went to 9/11 for some reason.
Yeah, of
Mhm.
course, yeah.
And I just imagine like someone time traveler went back and stopped that from happening.
And then you went back to New York, and the Twin Towers are still
It was
there.
still there.
Ooh.
And like it would be so different, like because so many things changed in America after that happened.
Yeah, but
So
Mhm.
So many things in the world change.
yeah, but so
Yeah.
many things would be like they wouldn't like. The thing is, the effects
We
of
learn
of
from things.
the
Yeah.
effects of 9/11, not just the learnings, like certain people that it just changing things can cause like effects that you wouldn't expect. Like,
Yeah.
what if someone that died in that catastrophe ended up doing something even
Yeah.
worse when they grew up, or what if like
Yeah.
vice versa? Like, it's just it could
You
just
can
have a
never
lot
map
of
out the consequences. Sorry, JP.
butterfly effect. Have you
Yeah.
guys heard of that?
Butterfly effect.
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
If there was like a way for you guys to go back in time, how like what would you do? Like build a time machine, find a time turner. Like imagine this was
A time
possible.
Have you guys
Uh,
ever seen Doctor Who?
Mentor me.
I haven't, but I really want to.
Seen what?
No, I
I
haven't.
think
Doctor Who.
I think my favorite thing would probably to have a
Oh.
TARDIS. That would be so cool. Which is like it's like a time machine, but it also travels in space, so you can go anywhere and anytime. So it's really cool.
Oh, that's
That's
nice.
cool.
Yeah.
That's very
And
cool.
like, or like, have you seen Avengers Endgame?
Oh yeah, the
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah, the quantum like particle thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing.
Particle thing.
The time thing.
Yeah.
The time bending thing.
The time
That
thingy.
one.
The-
Time thingy thing. What are you guys doing these 2 weeks? Do you have any ideas?
I'm trying to keep myself busy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Any-
extra busy. Like I got a book to read for the next 2 weeks.
Cool.
Nice.
Which is 1984.
Oh.
cool.
Yeah, I'm doing my
Oh.
coursework on 1984 right now.
You are? Oh god.
I am.
Oh God, oh no.
And then I'm also trying to finish another one that I can't.
Look at you reading,
And
Constance.
have a
Good
bunch
job.
of art things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're keeping your New Year's resolutions.
Oh, yeah.
I am.
On reading,
I'm
JP,
not reading.
have you started our Portuguese book that we have to read?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Yes, yeah, I'm glad then. I'm
Yes.
I remembered another thing because of the time traveling thing. What about superpowers? What about if you had the choice between superpowers, which would you choose?
Oh, that's hard.
Oh my God, there's so many.
You hated that question.
Because there's like so many things to consider.
I think there's two main ones that I really like, which is the ability to stop time
Mhm.
and like move around in that stopped time.
Yes, I
Yeah.
love that so much.
And
That's really cool.
That'd be
and
really cool.
teleporting
Oh,
anywhere.
that'd be
I was
really
gonna
cool.
say that. That must be
Yeah,
so
just
cool.
teleportation to anywhere you want at any
That's
time.
very cool.
Exactly.
I
You
really
could go
like
like no, sorry.
the flying one.
Oh yeah,
where
flying.
it's
fast.
like
Awesome.
you
Flying,
can fly, because that would
yeah.
be so cool.
Yeah.
But you can also just use teleporting to fly. You can just
I
teleport up in
know,
the air
But
and
the
then
feeling of like
Come
being
on.
up there.
drop.
For me, like I also like my mind goes a lot to reading minds, but I'm like, would I want to do that? You know, because
I
I'm
would
like,
not want to read
'Cause,
minds.
like,
Exactly.
sometimes
No,
like,
no.
oh, maybe it'd be cool if I could know what that person is thinking. Because like, would I really want to know that all
It's
the time?
terrible.
You know, like I don't.
No.
know.
Yeah. No, I would think of that sometimes before, but like now, like when I was little, I
Yeah.
think of that one as a lot. But now that I've grown, I'm like, no. Like it must be annoying to always know what everybody around you is thinking of. For me, it would definitely be flying or teleporting. Absolutely.
I think super speed is really cool. But
Super
it's not.
speed?
Also cool.
Yeah.
That'd be
Pretty-
cool.
But the super speed also relates to the time stopping one.
Yeah, I know if you travel fast enough, but like
I've been asked this before. I don't remember by who, but it was like, if you could stop time, what would you do? Like half an hour, time stopped. What would you do? I would sleep, because think of everything you could do if you could just not sleep in real time, sleep in other time. You'll never have to sleep again, and you can just do everything during the day.
Yeah, but if you only have half an hour, would you just like?
Well, I know,
just
but I'm
sleep?
is
Yeah,
that
half
the only
an hour.
reason you want the stopping time power?
No. It's one of
You
them.
could do
Extra
so much.
sleep.
Never have to sleep again.
If you were in a dangerous situation, like let's say a car crash, you could just stop time,
And
get
then
out,
just
And get it.
get
Yeah.
everyone out, and then
You could also do that with super speed though.
yeah, super speed's the same. But super speed is like more tiring. Like you'd actually have to put
Yeah.
the effort to go fast.
And you'd have
Unless-
to eat so
unless-
much each day.
Yeah,
to,
unless,
like,
Well, it depends.
Fuel
Wouldn't you
yourself.
change your body too, though?
yeah, it would. It would. Have you guys ever seen Flash?
Yeah,
I
that's
have
what I was thinking.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Then yeah, pretty much.
Imagine this time stopping thing. Imagine you're in a bus and something's about like a crash, whatever, and you have to get everyone out. You'd have to carry everyone, like
Just
Okay.
one by one, drag
one
them
by
out.
one, drag him out of the bus. Like,
They were just like, oh, what's this thing? Why does my leg hurt?
I wonder why.
Also, but then going back to the, if anybody would stop you for time traveling, would anybody stop you for your superpowers? Like, would people not want you to have superpowers, like in all the movies, because they're jealous?
Yeah, or scared.
Or scared?
Yeah.
I mean, you could hide it from them, you know.
Well,
Yeah.
There's some
Depends on
pretty
what
cool
you have.
powers. What about like powers that like change your intelligence, your intelligence?
Intelligent.
You could create crazy technology, or you could like stop certain issues in the world, or you could like really push humanity forward in terms of like that'd be
So your superpower
That'd be
would
really
be
Being a genius.
genius.
really smart. be like
Just,
be
I'm
like
really smart.
be like really smart.
I mean, that'd be very,
Tiring.
yes, tiring.
But you also could help a lot of people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
Shape-shifting would also be cool.
I thought of that. Shapeshifting could be really
Shapeshifting.
cool.
I didn't
Like
think
into
that. That's a
anything.
good one.
That could be, but like not just like you could turn into. Imagine you could turn into anything, like anything at all.
Yeah.
Not just
You can
Yeah,
just become a
yeah.
chair.
become a new CLIPCast that we now have available. Yeah,
Oh my
just- it'd be really cool.
That would be
Yeah.
really cool.
I love that my superpower is just, I'm a chair now.
I'm a chair. You could be like a cat. You could be a bird. You could be you could be a monkey.
Oh, imagine being able to talk to your pets. Now that you talked about animals.
Yeah, if you turned yourself
That'd
into a
be cool.
dog, could you communicate with the dogs?
I mean,
I
probably.
don't-
Oh.
Would you? Because you'd be a human like in a dog shape.
Yeah, but the
You
way
wouldn't be
you. But what
I
if?
know, but the way dogs communicate, at least from what we know, it's not like they have full-on conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah, they communicate like certain simple things.
So I guess maybe.
If we could
Yeah.
get like the basic understanding of the animal's communication when you turn into the animal, that would be
Also,
cool.
would you be able to hear higher frequencies?
Yeah,
Oh.
I
And like
assume so.
smell?
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh
definitely.
yeah, I guess.
I think so,
yeah.
because that
I
has
mean,
to do with
I
like-
think you'd have like the attributes of a dog, you know, or like whatever
Just-
animal you turned
The
into.
brain of a human?
Yeah.
Just a dog with a huge head.
No. So if you could only go back in time once, like I know we were talking about like going back to cool places and what we could do, but like what if you could just go back once and that's it? What's the thing you would really like to see?
I don't know.
I think it would
It's
be
so hard.
the dinosaurs thing.
How cool
Maybe.
would it be to go back to like ancient Greece? Or, like,
That'd be
the
very
Romans?
cool.
It would be
Ooh.
very cool.
That would be
But
very
also,
cool.
they'd
Ancient
kill
Greece.
you, though.
Would they?
Yeah.
though?
Would they?
Yes,
would
because
they?
you're dressed in normal clothing. They're like, this
No,
is
no.
an
If you
alien.
went there and like you like got clothing like
You
the
would just be
typical
a
clothing
peasant.
they
You could
wore, you
just
could
pass
pretend
off
to
as
be a
peasant.
nobody. You know?
Well, are
Yeah.
you
Like-
taking nothing with you?
Just go naked.
No,
But
like,
even,
you,
like,
you
the
could get there
language
and
you
steal some
speak
clothes.
and,
I
like-
don't know.
Don't speak.
Like-
just act stupid. Some
I'm
people are
like-
so stupid they don't know how to talk.
I'm
You're
mute.
like,
I
think
don't.
that would work, though.
It would.
You
I
don't-
think it would. I think like some peasants didn't have that much education, so you could just act as like this naked, mud-covered peasant, and you could just go around and like a homeless. Sorry, this is getting real.
What if you could take an object with you, like one thing with you?
Oh, so
like, back
Oh,
in time
that-
or in the future? What
Does
would
that
you
include
dictionary, I don't know.
clothes?
No, yeah, clothes. I'm saying clothes.
Are coming.
Like by default. But
Okay.
No, but my
What-
clothes, like you could get there like and steal some clothes. I don't know.
If
What,
could
are
take
you
the-
killing someone too?
No,
No, but imagine like someone's washing their clothes. You just get there and steal them.
you just steal the clothes off the
What?
person.
Yeah, let me break into someone's house and open the washing machine.
The washing machine, like
Instead
they
of
had
going
those.
into the
Yeah, they
closet.
don't have washing
I
machines.
mean, I was thinking in the future.
They
Sure.
washed them like outside, you know.
Yeah,
What if you
sure.
could-
Just take
yeah,
off
what if
their
you could
Like
go
when
to
my
the-
clothes are like hanging, you just like whoop and like steal some clothes.
Let's say in the future there's any like technology and you could like take one thing back. What would you go in the future to take back? I know it's hard to imagine because it's the future, but like,
I
Yeah.
love how we're stealing things.
well, yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole theme of this section.
I don't think I would take electronic things.
No?
I mean, I don't know, but I don't think so.
No,
I
no,
think most things will be electronic.
they don't have to be.
Maybe a lot of things will be like optimized.
I'd probably take like a little gadget that I found cool because then people would be like, oh, what's that? Like I wouldn't have to explain myself. It's just
Yeah.
just my thing. I just
It's just
found
my
it.
thing.
Yeah, and then if you like brought something big or something like that, people would start asking questions like, "How did you get that? Like, how
I
did you make
built
that?
it.
You didn't make that."
What if you could bring like a portal gun, like a gun that makes portals, and then
Ooh.
that'd be so
That'd be very cool. That'd be very cool.
A
Yeah.
gun that makes portals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could imagine.
Yeah.
Shoots
You wanted
portals
to
onto
get
walls.
from here to what? Like the center of Porto. You just put a portal somewhere, and then every time you wanted to just.
And then
and
imagine like
you're
every
there.
time you wanted to travel somewhere, you wouldn't have to like buy plane tickets or whatever. Just like gun portal. I'm gonna go to Greece
Yeah,
and whoop, walk over there.
and you're back.
Yeah.
It's a bit like the teleporting thing that we were
Yeah,
talking
no,
about before.
I was thinking, yeah, that's cool too. I was thinking more like a thing that actually like shoots portals where you see, so you could like.
I love how sci-fi this is. Wait, but because of the sci-fi and everything, why do you think people's views of the future are always so off? Like if you see movies like 2012
Yeah.
and stuff like that, where they're
Mhm.
like they have these hoverboards instead of skateboards, and then all the
Yeah.
cars fly and everything. Why do you think?
Well, if you think of the past, we're a lot more advanced than things were in the 80s,
Mhm.
right? Like we have a lot more things.
I
now.
understand the technological part, but why do you think
Mhm.
we're always so off in the time?
Political part?
No,
Oh,
Well,
you
because
mean-
like
you mean like they expected flying cars by
It's so fast.
2020?
Yeah.
Yeah,
expected it
how
to-
long
Oh.
it takes to
Well-
actually do it.
That's because I don't know. That's just the expectation. I guess like maybe they think that technology is not so far away.
okay, they think. What do you think? What do you
What do
think?
I
When do
think?
you think flying cars will be a thing?
I don't think flying cars will ever be a thing.
No.
I don't think it needs to be, right? I mean,
Yeah.
sure, like wouldn't that be? I mean, right now that would be like a really inefficient way of traveling. Like you'd probably need.
No, I know, but people would definitely make that just
Yeah, but
'Cause
the
it's
thing
a
is,
flying
it would be
car.
very different from driving an actual car.
for sure.
Yeah,
It'd be a tiny
And, like,
plane.
absolutely.
And how would you like organize flying through the air? It would be like having.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It just seems like it doesn't have to be a flying car.
All right.
you
Well,
know?
then, what are
Yeah.
your predictions
I-
that's
I-
gonna happen?
I think what'll be a thing soon, like in the future, I think it'll be more like automated cars like that. You don't need drivers
yeah.
because that's already
Oh
being
yeah,
developed.
that's already like.
And like many companies already have like good prototypes, so I
And-
think that'll definitely be a thing. soon.
And imagine
Mhm.
singing the cars too. Like, let's imagine that flying cars would be a thing in the future. I think maybe it would start with like hovering cars, like
Yeah.
no wheels anymore, or wheels and like hover above the ground. I think it would start that, and maybe with time and like everything. I think what also would take more time, even maybe than making the car itself, would be like you were saying, JP, organizing the whole system again. Like, how would driving in the sky? Imagine if it got
Yeah.
Mhm.
like that high up. How would it work? You need a new set of rules, new set
And
of
how
like
would we
ways to go
monitor it?
around. Exactly, like you need to get
Yeah.
police is up there or whatever, like security. Would it be droids? Like I don't know. Like
I think in
And
the
if
future.
you crash, it would go very bad because
Yeah, I
you
think-
need some safety.
yeah, you just
But crashing now is also very bad. I think
Mm-hmm.
like in the future it's gonna be more public transport style than like there's gonna be some kind of different method of transportation, like a really fast
Mhm.
train or
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
that's just it's what you always see because like at some point there's gonna be so many people, there's not gonna be enough logistics to actually have each individual person have their own method of transportation unless they're rich and they I think I think it's gonna be like a different type of economy and whole like social aspect in terms of that. And there's so many things that can happen. Like we can have like artificial intelligence is gonna be crazy, like smart, like much better in the future.
When do you think? Like,
When?
Like
I think
20 years, 30.
I think within 10 years we're already gonna have like an artificial intelligence, or like it's gonna be much more developed than it is now.
Well,
Absolutely.
for sure. But what do you think is like one of the things,
What's
like those
gonna
sci-fi
happen?
movies where they're just all of the police are robots?
No. I think it's gonna be like everyone's gonna have. Do you know how we have Siri and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
which is like boring?
We're
It's
gonna
like,
have a
it's,
little
like really simple. I feel like
buddy that
at
can
some point people are gonna start selling like artificial intelligence personalities that you can have.
We'll
to
have
keep your
like
company or-
parrots on our shoulders that are like robots.
No, it could just be on your computer, and you're like you turn on your computer and you can talk to like the artificial intelligence on your computer. I think, or like
Mhm.
something that's really like coming is like smart homes. Obviously, not very soon because there's so
Mhm.
many houses and buildings in the planet. But like,
Mm-hmm.
there's already so many smart homes, and I feel like at some point there's gonna be like a lot more. And I think that's gonna be really interesting.
What do you
And, like,
think of
AI
smart homes
Yeah.
and things like
Go
that,
ahead.
like all AI and everything? Do you like that? Do you think it's
I think there's so many things that still need to be developed. Because it's like the things that are all voice automated and stuff. Like, for example, in my house, in the living room, lights are basically only controlled by an app in our phones because we don't have enough light switches because my dad likes gadgets.
That's pretty smart. Home me.
Right, but then it doesn't work sometimes. My phone will just decide the lights won't work. Like,
Yeah.
it says not responding,
Mhm.
so then it won't work. So then what, you just stay for 2 weeks without lights?
No,
and
because, like,
security.
you know, in the future, like that type of technology would probably be more integrated in the house. Like
Okay, but what do you think about them
Yeah.
now? Smart houses now.
smart houses now. I'm sure there's some really cool ones.
Yeah.
but, like
Oh, yeah, I know.
it's not
But-
that it's not that frequent. Like the most you see
Yeah.
is like everything controlled by a phone app. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Or
Also-
voice activated things.
Yeah. Voice activated is kind of stupid because you know that also goes back to the artificial
Yeah.
intelligence. We don't like the
Mhm.
artificial intelligence today still isn't that good in recognizing pronunciation
Exactly.
and words. So it's like it's really easy to like accidentally turn something on when
Yeah.
you didn't mean to and you're just talking.
And that's what I was gonna say, because you have to really be careful about security, especially when you're talking about smart homes. Because I mean, even like voice activated, like
Yeah.
imagine you would say something like, I don't know, in your sleep, or you'd say something wrong,
Yeah.
or it will understand
Oh,
wrong.
yeah.
It could
Yeah,
go
but-
very wrong.
or imagine if there was like a security like alarm thing that would activate if it heard you like shout or something. Imagine you having a nightmare and like start screaming and like alarm activated, like start calling the police or something like that.
Lasers go in your house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just like, oh no.
that happens now. Like you have alarms in people's homes, like
Yeah.
you know sensors and stuff, and it calls the
Mhm.
police automatically sometimes. But I don't think it would be like you start screaming in a nightmare and it would go off.
I would
Yeah.
hope not.
Imagine.
Yes.
Do you think it would get to do you think it get to the point where it could recognize if you were like in a nightmare, like asleep, or if you were like in an actual like dangerous situation and you were like shouting for help?
It
Yeah.
might if you're like connected to it. So like if you know how like smartwatches like track your sleep and stuff. If you had something like that, maybe it could
Yeah.
like a database.
Oh yeah,
of
but
what's
that,
going on.
that already exists as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
As a child, then you're just a person that killed a
No,
child.
but here's the thing.
No, but
even
that's not
though
it's not the point. I mean, yeah, there's ethical
Yeah.
sides to it. Obviously, like
Of course.
would you kill someone like that's up to people that like respect the death sentence or don't think it's
Mhm.
right. But like in terms of like time travel like consequences, you know, it would probably have some negative effects also.
Mhm.
Or like it would make the world very different today.
it would, because like imagine you gave the example of Hitler. Even though he did so many terrible things, like everything has an impact, you know? Like we were
Yeah.
talking before.
Yeah.
So everything that happened in those years with like the Nazis and everything, all of those had an impact on what followed. The rules are implemented, the lives that whatever, you know? So even though we like us now, we know what happened, we wouldn't know what would happen or what would change if we killed him, for example.
Yeah.
So I don't
Exactly.
think I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't
And-
either. It's
and I think-
impossible to map out the consequences.
I like to suggest like yes, Hitler was someone that had a very big impact on like the whole world. But
Mhm.
I think that even if you go back and stop like one person from existing, like they might be very meaningless, but like
Yeah.
one person from existing, it would have a really big impact anyway. Or like,
There's always a chain reaction, you know?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but then this
Yeah.
goes back to the stopping a catastrophe.
yeah, exactly. Like
Mhm.
anything you
It's-
go do could have a really big effect. And I'd say if someone from the future came back and did something now, like stopped someone, it would have a much bigger effect than if we went back to the 15th century and stopped someone. Because in the 15th century, one person didn't know that many people, didn't really interact with that many people compared to now. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, we're globalized now. If someone from our time period was stopped from existing, they've interacted with people from all over the world, and it would have a really big effect. You know, even if you do a small thing with someone, that can lead to them doing something else, and that person doing something else, and something else, and then anybody that you stop from existing is gonna have a really big effect on everything.
And even like going like in the other situation of going back, if you like kill Hitler, like that doesn't even mean that it wouldn't happen. You know what I mean? Because the ideas behind like,
Yeah,
like
still exists,
Nazi
yeah.
Germany would still exist.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not
Like,
just one man, you know.
Exactly. Like he didn't even
Fascists still
create the
exist
Nazis.
today, you know. Like,
Yeah, of course.
thank you. Thank you for
And
everyone.
That's it.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for this conversation, Maria Inez.
Just you.
It's just
Thank you for this, Maria. I don't know
Yes.
what these other two people are doing here.
They
Yeah,
just
thank
decided
you,
to hang
Maria.
out.
Thank you,
it's always a
Maria.
pleasure, JP.
Thank you. And you too. Yeah, that's cool.
Goodbye
All
and
right.
see you next week.
Yes.
Bye.